We take you to KZN now, where Cosatu in KwaZulu-Natal, together with other organizations, will this morning protest in different parts of the province. The union will be demonstrating against the recent fuel hike, the high cost of living, unemployment, poverty and poor wages. For more on the story, we cross live to SABC News reporter Simphiwe Makhanya, who joins us live on the program. Simphiwe, good morning to you. It's great to have you on the program. Simphiwe, I can see there crowds are starting to gather. Give us a bit more details about the protest.
Well, indeed, Mkolisi, a few Cosatu members have started gathering outside Caris Fountain here in Durban ahead of that demonstration, which is going to be taking place any minute from now. I'm going to step out of the shot and ask my colleague Nhlanhla Faso to give you just a sense of how the situation is looking like outside Caris Fountain Stadium. Not so many people as far as the numbers are concerned, but of course all measures have been put in place to ensure that this demonstration goes ahead. On my left, we've got a lot of police visibility as well, who are going to be, overseeing this whole demonstration that is going to be taking place. But police, allow me to speak to the provincial secretary of Cosatu. That's Mr. Edwin Mkhize. Kabazala, thank you very much for your time. Perhaps just start by outlining the importance of today's demonstration.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you and to your viewers. No, we must say the demonstration will start around, in fact, we will depart here around 10 o'clock this morning. As you can see that some people have started gathering, and we're expecting more that are on their way. Remember that people are coming from the different parts of the city. We'll be moving from here to the Marine Building with the motorcade. Obviously, we'll take some time on the road demonstrating. Then at the Marine Building, we'll have some picket for about 2 hours and hand over the memorandum there.
What are your grievances as Cosatu in KwaZulu-Natal in particular?
In fact, this is a campaign for Cosatu. As we are saying today, it's not a strike, it's not a stay away, but we are saying that maybe we need to send some warning shots to government and the forces that controls the market, because the rising cost in fuel, which is the main grievance that you are raising, but we are not just petty on that one. We are broad in that question to say, you can't be raising the fuel price, which ultimately raise the cost of living, which is food, transport and other goods and services, while on the other hand you are downgrading workers' conditions of service, salaries and benefits. We are saying that there must be a balance on that, because understanding the economic fundamentals, if you can't strike a balance on that, it means that you are collapsing the whole economy of South Africa. So in the main is the issue of the fuel price that you are raising, but we are saying that is the government aware, is the business aware that by raising fuel price while you are downgrading workers, you are creating a crisis in the economy. So that's what we are saying, and this is just a build-up campaign. Hence, it's just a demonstration, a protest demonstration. It's a build-up campaign to a big campaign of Cosatu on the economy.
Kabazela, your critics though would say Cosatu has not been seen, to be pushing the agenda of workers, especially if you look at the high number of youth unemployment in this country, if you look at the level of retrenchments that have been, happening in various sectors across the economy. But your critics would say that you have not been vocal enough in actually, condemning these developments.
I would say if you don't read, you don't learn, and you don't follow what's happening in the labor market, you will say that. But I will say people who know, who understand what is it that we've been raising as Cosatu at the level of network, what is that we've been raising as Cosatu at the level of the parliament, even in the public discourse, I will assure you that those people will agree with me that we have been even in the media platforms, we have been in Netleg, we've been pronounced ourselves, we've been on the road, on the streets, raising these issues. The only challenge that we are having is that the government and the business do not want to listen. That is why we need to be more on the streets, because that's the battlefield. We understand better as workers. Not that we don't want to be on the street disrupting and doing all that. But the reason why we need to be on the street is because government, we've put a number of proposals. Government does not want to listen, and the business doesn't want to listen. So that is why I will not agree with those. Obvious, the trade union movement, we're not always on the street. Some of the struggles that we are driving, the campaigns that we are taking up, some of them are now hidden and now open. We are taking a number of campaigns in the boardrooms, obviously in the CCMA, our trade unions representing workers. The only thing is that the voice of those workers that we have addressed their issues is not loud enough. Then the voice of the few or the workers that have their own issues about us as Cosatu. But I must say that sometimes of these views are not from workers. They are also driven by the capital that wants to pit workers against each other so that they achieve their agenda of weakening the trade union movement. That is why you are saying that workers have a right to raise concerns about us. They have a right to also raise suggestions and views as to how we can build a very strong trade union movement. But there is no other alternative to workers except building a very strong trade union movement.
For this particular demonstration, how many workers are you expecting?
I was expecting about 150 cars here, which then we'll say is about in total around 250 to 300 workers, because this is just a picket demonstration.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
That is Edwin Mkhize. He is the Provincial Secretary of Cosatu here in KwaZulu-Natal, giving us an update in terms of the demonstration that is expected to take place here at about 10 o'clock this morning. All this respect to you in Johannesburg.
Simphiwe, it's no secret that the cost of living indeed keeps escalating. Have you perhaps been privy to some of the solutions as well as suggestions that are being proposed, perhaps in the memorandum?
Well, certainly, Mkolisi, as you heard the Provincial Secretary of Cosatu, Edwin Mkhize, saying earlier on that they have been raising these issues at Netleg level, where they are proposing various interventions from government, to be put in place to ensure that this issue is addressed. But of course, we know that the economy of this country is not at its best at the moment, with the highest number of unemployment, youth unemployment in particular, coming into sharp focus, especially as the country was commemorating Youth Day yesterday, where we saw quite a number of young people raising those concerns that they feel that government has not done enough to really, tackle this issue of unemployment in policy.
Okay, what time is the march expected to start, Simphiwe?
At about 10 a.m., Mkolisi, we are expecting the motorcade to start departing from Carisfontein. Then they will make their way to Marine Building, which is in the CBD. That will take about 5 or 7 minutes to get to their destination in Mkolisi.